3 sleep-well investments retirees must own before 2026. I want to talk to you today about something that's been weighing on a lot of people's minds lately. And I bet it's crossed yours too. It's that uneasy feeling that maybe, just maybe, the world of money and markets isn't quite as stable as it used to be. You've worked hard, saved carefully, and you want your retirement years to be peaceful, predictable, and protected. But lately, peace of mind feels harder to come by. Every time you turn on the TV, there's talk about inflation, government debt, interest rates, and stock market volatility. The truth is, for retirees, uncertainty is the enemy of good sleep. That's why today, I want to share with you 3 investments. I call them sleep-well investments that every retiree should seriously consider owning before 2026. These are not wild bets or speculative ideas. They're time-tested, resilient strategies designed to protect what you've built, grow it sensibly, and let you rest easy, knowing that your financial future isn't riding on luck or headlines. Let's face it, the past few years have been a roller coaster. From record inflation to the fastest interest rate hikes in decades, retirees have watched their portfolios swing up and down more than they'd like. Bonds, once the safe part of a portfolio, took a beating. The dollar's purchasing power dropped sharply, and housing, which once felt like a guaranteed asset, suddenly feels more uncertain, with property taxes and maintenance costs eating into fixed incomes. So what's a prudent, conservative investor supposed to do? The answer isn't to hide from the market. The answer is to position yourself calmly and smartly in assets that can weather whatever comes next. Now, before we get into the 3 investments, let me make something clear. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to help you think differently about your wealth, to shift from chasing returns to preserving and protecting what truly matters. You've spent decades working to build this nest egg. Now your job is to make sure it lasts, no matter what happens in Washington, on Wall Street, or across the world. So, let's talk about the first sleep-well investment. It's one that's been quietly protecting wealth for thousands of years. Through wars, depressions, market crashes, and every economic cycle known to man. I'm talking, of course, about precious metals, specifically gold and silver. Gold isn't new, and that's exactly why it works. It's not a shiny trend. It's a timeless safeguard. When paper currencies lose value, gold holds its ground. When inflation erodes your purchasing power, gold tends to rise. And when stock markets panic, gold often becomes the safe harbor investors rush toward. It's been that way for centuries, and nothing about that has changed. If you've ever looked at your 401k or IRA and thought, what happens if the market drops again? You're asking the right question. Gold and silver can be the answer. They don't pay dividends, but they do something even more important. They protect value. They stand outside the paper financial system. They don't depend on corporate earnings, central bank decisions, or political stability. That's why so many smart retirees are quietly moving a portion of their savings into physical metals today. And here's where it gets practical. You don't have to stash gold bars in your closet to benefit from owning precious metals. Companies like Augusta Precious Metals make it simple to buy and store gold or silver in an IRS-approved retirement account, what's called a gold IRA. It's a smart, tax-advantaged way to bring real, tangible protection into your portfolio. Augusta has built a reputation for transparency, education, and truly caring about retirees. Not pushing sales, but helping people understand the why behind every decision. And for a lot of my clients, that kind of partnership makes all the difference. Now, the reason I say before 2026 is simple. We're heading toward a period of financial recalibration. The Federal Reserve can't raise rates forever. And once they stop, we're likely to see renewed inflationary pressure, dollar weakness, and a flight to hard assets. Gold and silver have already shown strong resilience, but they haven't had their big moment yet in this cycle. That moment could easily come in the next 12 to 18 months. That's why now is the time to position yourself, not react later. All right, let's move to the second sleep well investment. If gold and silver are your defensive line, this next one is your steady income source. I'm talking about high-quality dividend-paying stocks. Specifically, companies that have a long history of increasing dividends year after year. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Stocks? In this market? And that's fair, but I'm not talking about chasing tech stocks or gambling on new IPOs. I'm talking about reliable, well-established businesses that provide goods and services people will keep buying no matter what's happening in the economy. Think consumer staples, utilities, healthcare, and energy. Companies that make products people need. Toothpaste, electricity, medicine, fuel. The magic of dividend-paying stocks is that they reward patience. Even if the market moves sideways or dips for a while, your dividends keep coming in. It's steady income, and that income can grow over time, helping you keep pace with inflation. Some retirees reinvest those dividends to keep compounding their wealth. Others use them to supplement their retirement income. Either way, it's one of the few strategies that lets you both preserve capital and generate cash flow. Here's a little-known fact. Over the long term, dividends have contributed roughly 40% of the total returns from the stock market. That means, even if prices stagnate, dividends can do a lot of heavy lifting. And when you stick to companies with decades of consistent payouts, the so-called dividend aristocrats, you dramatically reduce your risk. The key, again, is balance. You don't want your entire portfolio in the market, but having a portion in strong income-producing equities can help offset the lack of yield from safer assets. When you pair that with precious metals, your inflation hedge, you create a portfolio that can handle both sides of the economic coin, growth and protection. Now let's talk about the third sleep well investment, one that doesn't get nearly enough attention, but can make a world of difference for retirees who value stability and predictability. I'm talking about real assets that produce steady income, like conservative real estate or infrastructure investments. I'm not talking about buying rental properties yourself. That's a lot of work, and you don't want to be fixing leaky faucets in your 70s. What I'm referring to are investments that give you exposure to real, tangible assets without the headaches of direct ownership. These might include REITs focused on essential infrastructure like storage facilities, senior living communities, healthcare properties, or even renewable energy projects. The beauty of these kinds of investments is that they're based on physical income-generating assets that people rely on in any economy. When you own a share in, say, a healthcare REIT, you're essentially owning a piece of hospitals or medical office buildings that generate rent. It's not flashy, but it's stable. And that's exactly what you want in retirement. Think of it this way. You've got your precious metals protecting your purchasing power, your dividend stocks providing income and modest growth, and your real assets giving you tangible, inflation-adjusted stability. Together, they form what I call a sleep-well triangle: protection, income, and real-world value. And if you're wondering, where should I start? The answer depends on your comfort level. For many retirees, it starts with simply diversifying beyond paper assets. That's why I emphasize gold and silver first. They're the simplest way to take a portion of your portfolio out of the fragile paper system and put it into something real. Something that's existed long before Wall Street and will exist long after. If you've been sitting on the fence about precious metals, I want to share a quick story. A client of mine, let's call him John, retired in 2018 with a good mix of stocks and bonds. When inflation hit hard in 2021 and 2022, he watched his bond values drop and his grocery bills skyrocket. That's when he decided to move about 15% of his portfolio into physical gold and silver through Augusta Precious Metals. He didn't do it to get rich. He did it to sleep better at night. Fast forward to today. His metals have held strong, his confidence is back, and he's no longer checking the market every morning. He knows that part of his nest egg is rock solid. Literally, that's the kind of peace of mind you can't put a price on. And it's exactly why I encourage you to consider doing something similar before 2026, because by the time everyone's rushing into gold and silver, the best opportunities will already be gone. Now, let's take a step back for a moment. What does sleep well really mean when it comes to investing? It means building a portfolio that doesn't keep you up at night. It means you're not worried about every market headline or political fight. It means your wealth isn't tied to the decisions of central bankers or the next election cycle. It means your money is working quietly and reliably, even while you're enjoying your retirement. When I talk to retirees across the country, the biggest thing they tell me they want isn't necessarily more money. It's peace of mind. They want to know that no matter what happens, whether the market goes up, down, or sideways, they'll be okay. And that's exactly what these three investments are designed to deliver. Now, if we bring it back to precious metals one more time, and I think it's worth doing, let me stress this. Owning gold or silver isn't about doom and gloom. It's about balance. It's about acknowledging that our financial system runs on promises and paper. And sometimes those promises get stretched thin. Having a portion of your wealth in tangible, physical metals is simply common sense. And again, companies like Augusta Precious Metals make it easy. They'll walk you through the process of opening a gold IRA, transferring funds from your existing retirement account, and choosing the right mix of gold and silver coins or bars, all fully insured and stored in secure facilities. You stay in control, but you also get the benefit of expert guidance and a trusted partner who's been helping retirees protect their wealth for years. When you look at the road ahead, rising government debt, unpredictable markets, geopolitical tensions, you start to realize that the old 60-40 portfolio of stocks and bonds may no longer cut it. The rules have changed. Inflation has returned. The dollar is under pressure. And the timeline before 2026 is not arbitrary. It's the window of opportunity before the next cycle of monetary easing, before the next wave of currency debasement, and before the next global reset of value. So here's my simple advice. Don't wait. Review your portfolio today. Ask yourself, how much of it is truly protected? How much of it depends on confidence in systems that can change overnight? And how much of it is backed by something real, something tangible, something that stood the test of time? If the answer leaves you uneasy, that's your cue. Take action. Calmly, thoughtfully, but soon. Because when you've got gold and silver in your corner, when you've got stable dividend payers sending you income, and when you've got real assets quietly generating cash flow, you can finally take a deep breath and enjoy your retirement the way it's meant to be enjoyed. And remember, you don't have to figure it all out alone. The team at Augusta Precious Metals has built a strong reputation for helping retirees like you understand the process of adding precious metals to a retirement portfolio. They take the time to educate you, answer your questions, and make sure you feel comfortable every step of the way. I've seen countless retirees walk away from that experience not just with gold in their portfolio, but with confidence in their financial plan. So, as you think about your next steps, think about those three investments, the ones that help you sleep well at night: gold and silver, the timeless protectors of wealth; dividend-paying stocks, the steady engines of income and growth; and real income-generating assets, the anchors of stability. Together, they form a balanced foundation for the kind of retirement you deserve, one built not on speculation or fear, but on strength, wisdom, and time-tested principles. So don't wait for 2026. to find you unprepared. Take this moment, right now, to prepare for it. The world may change, markets may rise and fall, but true wealth, the kind that lets you sleep well, is built on foresight and action. If you're ready to take that step, start by learning more about how physical gold and silver can fit into your retirement plan. Visit Augusta Precious Metals to get the information you need. No pressure, no hype, just clear, honest guidance from a company that's helped thousands of Americans protect their savings the smart way. Because at the end of the day, wealth isn't just about numbers. It's about freedom. It's about knowing you're protected. It's about sleeping well. And that, my friends, is worth more than gold. If you found this video helpful, watch this video next, because here I explained all different levels of retirement and how you can level up. Watch that next to prepare even better for retirement. Goodbye.